Hi, I'm Christy Naus with the Community Foundation. Welcome to this edition of Connections. I'm here today with my friend Joseph Jones at the Harkin Institute, and we are in a very special place. I can't wait for him to tell you more about it. Joseph, where are we? What is this fabulous building on the Drake campus?
Hi Christy, welcome to the Tom and Ruth Harkin Center. This is a brand new facility here on Drake's campus. We were opened in November of 2020, or at least completed.
Yeah.
We're not quite open yet.
Yeah.
But this building serves as the home of the Harkin Institute, and it's new digs for us. We've not had a space this large before, but we're really excited about it.
It's really incredible, and I hope that you all get a chance to come on by or come on in. What kinds of things will happen in this space, both here for Greater Des Moines, but really you have a footprint much, much larger than that?
We sure do. We actually work on policy that cuts across many different areas. So we focus on people with disabilities, labor and employment, retirement security, and wellness and nutrition. And our projects and research are global in lots of ways. But here at the Institute in the Harkin Center, we will be doing our research. This gives us an opportunity for our students to spread out and to learn, for us to coordinate with partners. And on the first floor, we have a set of display spaces, almost like an exhibition of the life and times of Tom and Ruth Harkin, along with legislation that Senator Harkin worked on over his 40 years in Congress. We have an auditorium down there where we'll be having some of the events that people have come to in the past. Other parts of campus, other parts of town, we'll be doing some of those here in our new building as well. One of the interesting things that's happened during the pandemic is that we've had to pivot a lot of our programming to being virtual and being online, but we've also built a building at a time that people are not working in buildings all the time, and so even our staff is continuing to work from home, but we've been able to use this space in a productive way. And that's partnering with the College of Pharmacy here at Drake and Hy-Vee to host a COVID vaccine clinic. So our entire first floor is used for that throughout the week, so we can help the community to get back to being able to socialize and gather together by helping to immunize our neighbors and citizens here in Des Moines.
Absolutely, great cause. You know, disability issues, accessibility, equity issues were hugely important, and this building just lives and breathes that. Talk a little bit about how you really have made it a special place that's welcoming to everyone.
Sure. As we were talking about designing a permanent home for the Harkin Institute and creating the Harkin Center, we wanted to make sure that we focused on universal design. So oftentimes people think about making things accessible as meeting different ADA standards, and we wanted to go far beyond that. We wanted to make a space where anyone coming in would feel like they were included, that they felt comfortable, they could navigate it and have a great experience. And so we worked with our architect team at BNIM, along with our furniture consultants, Piggott, and the folks at White's who did the construction, along with our Disability Policy Committee, and we all worked through the different parts of this together. We wanted to talk about the everyday experiences of people with disabilities as they go into the built environment. One of the key features you'll see about that is the ramp, which is the main conveyance between the first and the second floor. Everyone takes the ramp. And we included an elevator, of course, as well as a part of that, but really wanted to create spaces that were open. We wanted to be able to put people in wheelchairs side by side walking through hallways, or people who were signing side by side walking through hallways. We wanted to give ample space for people to maneuver. We wanted to give ample space as you sat in levels of comfort and ergonomically fitting, but also things that were accessible for people with different heights and different body types and using different devices. And so the physical space was really important for us. The natural light and the environmental impacts were really important to us as we built this as well. So you'll see that through a lot of the features here. Our former building was really, really dark and narrow. There wasn't a lot of natural light, and as you can see here, there's natural light everywhere, which is great. And it's great for our emotional health and our mental health. Is really important too. And then last but not least, as people experience coming in the building and looking at our displays and reading things or watching video about Senator Harkin's life or looking at materials from the archives, we wanted to make sure that that experience was good for them as well. And no matter what your level of ability is, that you would have the opportunity to access those things from the archives and those artifacts and really engage in those displays. And so we've been working to make sure that portion of the experience is good as well.
Wow, it is just world class, and I just commend what you've done here. As we talk about equity, we also, I know that you've worked hard on your next Sussman lecture that's coming up with Nicole Hannah-Jones joining our community for that conversation. Tell us more about Nicole Hannah-Jones and what's going on here coming up in April.
Sure, and one of the things I'll start with is just how blessed and lucky we are to be here at Drake and part of the Drake family. And one of the Drake alums from the 1950s, the early 50s, Richard Sussman, endowed a lecture series for us at the Harkin Institute. He was very excited about the idea of having policy dialogues and conversations about issues that were global and that were impacting all of us, and he thought that bringing those conversations to Des Moines and to Drake's campus was really important. So we're really thankful for Mr. Sussman endowing that lecture series. And this one in particular, we try to do these every semester. Sometimes we do or don't, but at least once a year we do a Sussman lecture. This one in particular was really important because it's a conversation that has been elevated a lot over the last year during the pandemic and during the conversations about race in our country. And we started working on it prior to those things happening, actually. We thought it was really important to establish a conversation about race and about slavery in our country and what those lasting impacts have been in a lot of our institutions. And we thought no better place than starting with Nicole Hannah-Jones, who is a native of Iowa, coming to talk to us. And so we started working on that, and been really grateful for many of the organizations, to include the Community Foundation, wanting to be a part of this as well and having the same thoughts and ideas. And we've been able to put together just the most tremendous group of people and organizations who are supporting this event and bringing their audiences and their network to be a part of it. And I'm really excited about it. So,
well, and that's working, right? How many people do you have registered already?
So there are nearly 1,300 people registered already, and we are, just several weeks out still from this event happening on April 8th. We're excited about the dialogue. This lecture is one where we always have a great presentation, conversation with the presenter, and then allow the audience to ask them questions as well and engage. And this particular evening will be a two-parter. We'll do one part for the youth in our community, our middle school and high school students, that will happen prior to the lecture, and then the larger community lecture that will happen later, that will be inclusive of everyone, and we're really excited about that.
Yeah, that is great. We're so excited to have this opportunity to hear from her and to ask questions of her, so thank you for really leading the charge on that. How can people sign up for the Nicole Hannah-Jones lecture?
Sure. So you can go to the Harkin Institute website, which is harkininstitute.org, and under events you can see the Sussman lecture, and you can go and register there.
That's great.
And then of course you can follow us on social media, and I assume the Community Foundation will have some things on their social media as well where you can link to it as well. And so the more the merrier. One of the great things about it happening virtually is that we're not confined by space, and people can watch from the convenience and comfort of their own home.
Really critical conversation. Well, thank you so much for your time and for giving us a tour of this incredible facility, the Harkin Center. And thank you for joining us. Please continue to stay connected through DesMoinesFoundation.org, and we'll be going on more tours around town with Connections with Christy coming up.